guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Amaya and I'm a 25-year-old engineer living in the greater Houston area. I'm creating this channel to make engineering related content, and today's video is going to be about how I became an engineer. This video will be addressing one of the questions that I'm asked the most, which is how I actually got here. Most people want to know how I became an engineer and the steps that I took to actually get here. And I know that for many of you, including myself, there's a lot of people that want to become engineers, but don't exactly know where to get started. For me specifically, both of my parents are college educated, but they didn't go to college in the United States, so navigating the entire high school and college process itself was very confusing for me. And I also know that for myself, as a woman, it was kind of daunting to go into engineering, which is such a male-dominated field. And that's why I wanted to come on here and make this video so that maybe somebody else doesn't have to go through what I went through and could possibly have an easier time knowing the best ways to prepare. So without further ado, here are some things that I wish I knew about 10 years ago that I know now about becoming an engineer. The first thing that I'm going to start off with is high school. And I know what a lot of you might be thinking, like, Amaya, most high schoolers don't even know what they want to be when they grow up, let alone, think of ways to start that career path that early on. And yes, I do agree with you, but if you were like me and you knew that you wanted to go into engineering from a very young age, there are steps that you can take to make the whole path a little bit easier. For example, there are certain courses that you can take while in high school that will make college shorter for you, which will save you money. Additionally, you can also take rigorous math and science courses, which will kind of prepare you for the difficulty of courses in college. If you guys are interested, I can link some of those courses up here so that you can take a look, and if anybody is in that high school process and wanting to be an engineer, maybe you can think of taking some of those courses to better prepare yourself for engineering school. Please do note that while taking AP courses, not all colleges take AP credit for all courses. I live in the state of Texas, where all state universities have to accept AP credit as long as you score 3 or above on the AP exam, so please do keep that in mind. And with that being said, we're going to move on to the next topic, which is how to find a good engineering college. The next step in becoming an engineer is getting an engineering degree. And I know that a lot of older engineers out there might tell you that you don't need a degree to work as an engineer, or that they themselves don't have a degree to work as an engineer. And yes, that was true in their time. However, nowadays, if you're trying to work as an entry-level engineer, every company expects you to have a degree in engineering. So picking a good college engineering program is honestly very important to set yourself up for success when you graduate. The first thing you need to keep in mind when picking an engineering program is you need to make sure that the university is ABET accredited. ABET accreditation is a quality assurance process that makes sure that your college engineering program meets certain standards. In my opinion, this is very important because a lot of employers look for students from engineering programs that are ABET accredited when they're trying to hire graduates fresh out of school. Another thing to consider when you're trying to pick an engineering program is you want to try to pick a program that is well known for the specific type of engineering that you're trying to do. So to give you an example, specifically in my case, I went into college thinking I wanted to be a mechanical engineer, but halfway through my freshman year, I decided that I actually wanted to be a computer engineer. So if you're actually more like me and you want to learn more about different types of engineering and think that there is a possibility that you might change your mind later on, you want to pick a program or a university with multiple engineering programs that are well-renowned. In my case, I went to Texas A&M, and in the first year of engineering, all engineering majors, regardless of their specialization, take entry-level engineering courses, And then at the end of the year, they allow you to pick which specialization you like best based on the experiences that you had in that first year. And so, if possible, if you think you might even remotely be interested in learning more about different types of engineering before you pick a specialization, try to pick a university that does something like that. There's honestly a lot more that I'd like to add about picking a good engineering college, but that would make this video entirely too long. So I'll be creating a new video later talking about how to pick an engineering college. The third important thing is managing time. And this kind of ties into the last thing that we talked about, which was picking a good college. Engineering is a highly rigorous and difficult college major. And this might come as a shock to a lot of people, including me, coming from high school. So take it from someone like myself. In high school, I would complete my homework assignments 10 minutes before they were due. But when I got to college, it was a completely different ballgame. Students would start their assignments the night that it was assigned and still have a difficult time turning it in on time. Especially as you get into your third and fourth year, you want to make sure that you're managing time very, very wisely so that you don't fall behind on assignments. And you have to make sure that your studies are of utmost importance and nothing else comes before that. Applying for internships. One of the most important things that people tend to downplay is having an internship or multiple internships under your belt before you graduate from engineering. And I know that this is a lot easier said than done. For example, take it from someone like me. My junior year, I knew I had to find an internship that summer because it was my last chance before I graduated. I sent out hundreds and hundreds of applications only to be denied the very next day or even be ghosted by companies. But I kept with it and I finally received 2 offers. I ended up picking my favorite of the 2 offers and ended up having a really good experience. The reason that I say that having an internship is very important is because it makes it so much easier to find a job after graduation. Students graduating with internships under their belt are much likelier to receive multiple return offers. And it's also important to note that you can use your prior experience to negotiate a higher salary upon graduation. Attending career fairs and corporate events. This kind of ties into the last section, but make it a point to attend every single career fair, even if it's your freshman year. When I was a freshman, I made the mistake of listening to others when they said that it was useless to go to a career fair as a freshman because companies would never hire a freshman. Although this might be true in a lot of cases, just having the experience of talking to recruiters helps a lot in your following years, and it'll definitely separate you from your peers. Applying for jobs. So just like everything else I mentioned before, when you're applying for jobs, it's very easy to get demotivated. I've been there. I know how tiring and restless you can feel and how nervous you can feel about the fact that you might not get a job before you graduate. But just keep applying and you will get an interview. And when you get that interview, make sure that the skills that you gained over the last 4 years shine through and show them your problem-solving skills as well as your communication skills. In my case, I interviewed for a few companies and actually had a few offers, of which I picked my favorite one, and that's how I actually ended up moving down here in Houston. The fact that I had an internship honestly helped a lot with that. But even if you didn't have an internship, just know that plenty of people without internships go on to graduate and find full-time offers. So don't be too discouraged if you didn't have an internship. And the last thing that I will say, which is honestly very, very important, is believing in yourself. During your college time studying engineering, you're gonna have multiple nights in a row where you're sleeping maybe 2 or 3 hours a night, and it's very, very easy to get discouraged and think that you're not smart enough to be there and that everybody else understands everything but you don't. Just know that everyone in engineering goes through this phase. It's very difficult, it's a very challenging major, but I will honestly say that graduating with my computer engineering degree is the best thing that I ever did for myself, because that one move in my 20s set me up for financial success for the rest of my life. And so if I could say anything, believe in yourself. It might be really hard. You might feel like you're not doing well at all, but just keep with it and graduate. I promise you it will be worth it and you will thank yourself for decades to come. With that being said, that was my very first video. Please, please, please subscribe. leave a thumbs up, leave comments. Let me know down below if there's other videos that you'd like to see about engineering or just in general. And thank you so much for watching my first video.